At the beginning of January, there was this rumor, okay, or maybe Hollywood wanted to try to make it a rumor, tried to spin it out into more than it really was, but Cynthia Erivo, okay, star of Wicked and Nosferatu, put out the idea that she would love to be Storm in the upcoming X-Men reboot that Disney hasn't really said that much about and hasn't really been confirmed, but we know is definitely something that they're going to have to pull out of their bag at one point or another, maybe after they get done with the multiverse stuff, so wrapping that up. So I don't know, just projecting into the future, into like the 2030s, which is just wild to think about, but we're here. So a 38-year-old Cynthia Erivo, who we don't even know could last for the next couple of years because, well, you see her in those interviews with Wicked, with Ariana Grande, when they're not too busy crying over each other. They're too busy trying to figure out where they can get their next meal or grain of rice in their current states. Like, these aren't healthy people. So her planning this far into the future, well, you'd have to make a couple of changes in order to get there. But her wanting to be Storm, I mean, I think there's a litany of people wanting to be Storm. Not exactly my ideal casting, but it's something that you could, like, at this point in time, bro, like, would it surprise you? Okay, like, Wicked is wildly successful with the type of people that would never watch X-Men. Okay, but Disney, as dumb as they are, Marvel, as stupid as they are, oh bro, they're really gonna turn it around. Yeah, tell me that at the end of this year when everything flops on its face. I hope the Fantastic Four is good. It's probably not going to be. Thunderbolts and Captain America 4, I think, is already a given that those are going to suck. You take a look at the TV projects. Okay, is anybody excited for Ironheart? And it already looks antiquated knowing that Robert Downey Jr. is just around the corner. You're going to be getting female black Iron Man. Yeah, that's going to work, and that's definitely going places. Where do you ever hear Riri Williams brought up? Hell, ever since Raquanda, that's a different person being cast for Storm, but Wakanda Forever, you have not heard the name Riri Williams before. It's wild, okay? We're 3 years removed from that crap, and she's finally getting her TV series coming out. Sure. That's already been completed for like a year and a half. Fantastic stuff. 2025 is going to look an awful lot like 2023 was for Marvel, where they're going to be back at a point in time going, yeah, I don't know what we're going to do. Okay, just wheel out more keys to jangle. Okay, just start to tease more X-Men casting, but they would be so stupid in thinking that, oh yeah, right, yeah, oh, we're actually going to do what fans want. We're going to put Henry Cavill as Wolverine, and we're going to have the Wicked Witch of the West as Storm. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I could totally see them doing this. It would not shock me at all. And by the time that Wicked is done, because part 2 is coming out, I think was in like November or something like that, like, nobody's gonna remember this goofy bitch. She's crazy. She's absolutely crazy. And if she couldn't stand a fan-altered poster for Wicked, what kind of spurging will she do if she ever gets into the MCU? That shit is gonna be wild. But according to a new rumor, it's apparently not gonna happen, because Disney has their eyes trained on somebody a little bit younger than the 38-year-old Cynthia Erivo, which, of course, you know, if you're going to be launching the X-Men, you're going to want to have somebody who can at least be in the role for 5, 10 at this point in time, because there's no concrete date as to when they're going to start this stuff. You're going to want them for a while, and a 40-year-old Storm, and especially the drop-off you had from Halle Berry in her prime to legitimately a corpse, like, it's a little bit different. Okay, I would take Halle Berry right now over Cynthia Erivo, also because Halle Berry is, you know, quite based. But anyways, X-Men Storm role in the MCU may go to a socialist pride activist Hollywood celebrity. And no, this isn't Cynthia Erivo, it's just Disney having another one. New rumor from Entertainment Leaker, my time to shine, hello. So yeah, this is a pooper scooper with another hot take, which you can go ahead and take it with a grain of salt, but at this point in time, would anything be surprising? Okay, Disney has the perfect opportunity to cast a strong black female, and what are they going to do? Cast a strong mid-black female. Yeah, is considering Ayo Edebiri, sure, best known for her role as Sydney Adamu, sure, in the hit FX series The Bear, which is something that I've heard of before. I just have no idea what the hell it's about. I think it's a restaurant show. It's like, bro, you're going to make a waitress Storm. Fantastic. To play Storm in the highly anticipated MCU X-Men reboot. If true, this decision would sideline Wicked star and recent Oscar nominee Cynthia Erivo, which is another reason why I thought Disney would probably go in that direction, because, ooh, somebody with an Oscar nod. Ooh, they could say award winner, but then we'd also have to stomach the idea that, oh my god, you have one of the best female, well, she's a mutant, but but superhero, just for argument's sake, okay? One of the foundational female superheroes, at least of my youth, portrayed by an actual ghoul. Which it's funny, right? With all the race swapping that normally goes on in Hollywood, do you ever think for a moment that it was ever floated that maybe Storm could be Hispanic? Maybe Storm could be played by an up-and-coming Scandinavian actress? No, not even for a moment. It's so funny how that shit always goes in one direction but never in the other. Not something that I'd ever advocate for, mostly because if you're going to be adapting something, at least do the base requirements of adapting it, okay? Like, just say, oh, I don't know, if you're going to be doing, like, if you're going to be adapting the second age of Lord of the Rings and you wanted to tell the story of Lady Galadriel, you would cast somebody who's not 5'4" and Welsh and very bad at her job. You would actually cast somebody who is 6 foot tall, or at least 5'10", 6 feet tall, somebody who is believably tall on camera, so that when they have to do a square off against somebody else, another male counterpart, where they wouldn't have to be leaning sideways and using Dutch angles to try to obfuscate the fact that there's a midget playing a mythical elf. Who would be stupid enough to do that, right? Many believed Erivo would be wrong for the role for many reasons. Chief among them are her embrace of identity politics and willingness to fly off the handle at fans over imagined slights. Yes, however, if this rumor proves true, those who were wary of Erivo's political leanings still won't be happening. Edebiri, whatever, man, has made a name for herself as a rising star in Hollywood, winning a Golden Globe, an Emmy, and Film Actors Guild Award for her performance in The Bear, whatever. She also lent her voice to major animated projects like Spooderman Across the Spooderverse and the controversial Seth Rogen-produced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, in which she voiced, yes, an overweight, race-swapped version of Arpel O'Neil. Okay, cool. I kind of thought that was going to end up being the case because I've already showed you, I've already hurt your eyes by just letting you know that there's Cynthia Erivo. She wanted to play Storm, who is awesome and fantastic, and this is Ayo. Like, Ayo, what the fuck is that? And that's going to be Storm. That's who they want. That's who they want for Storm. I'm not surprised at all. Despite her accolades, Edebiri's off-screen reputation as a politically charged activist raises concerns about how well her casting would resonate with Marvel's increasingly skeptical fanbase. Exactly as well as you think it might, right? Edebiri is a proud member of the Democratic Socialists of America. Oh, she's a commie. Get the fuck out. Out now, okay? Let's call ICE. Let's figure out if her paperwork's in place, and, you know, you can just get out with the other guys that are shouting out, you know, about Haiti or wherever you're from, and just leave, go, bye. And as actively canvassed for the organization. Oh, okay, so an out and proud member of the... Where's McCarthy when you need him? This alone is enough to give some fans pause. Yeah, no, because commies... No. We don't pay attention to commies, as her activism and vocal opinions often take center stage. She has also been critical of the entertainment industry, lamenting its supposed male dominance and stating, yeah, the male dominance, so whenever there's an opportunity to switch out a guy for a girl, yeah, the Hollywood's always going to take that, but male dominance, right? Comedy, and I think just the industry in general, I beg your pardon, has a history of being very, very male-dominated. Yeah, because outside of just your appearance, nothing's funny about a woman. Dominated by people who are older than you, right? Yeah, people who have experiences, have stories and events that they can reference to make jest of, that they can draw on for inspiration when it comes to acting, instead of just simply being handed something due to the color of their skin. Very interesting, your observation that you have right there. A lot of astute observation for somebody so young, right? While she likely sees this as championing progress, others might view it as perpetuating the very divisiveness that has plagued Marvel in recent years. I mean, yeah. In 2020, she replaced the Jenny Slate as the voice of Missy on Netflix's Big Mouth. Oh, yeah, that sexually explicit animated show for kids, after Slate stepped down due to being white and voicing a black character. Oh, okay, so she's at the forefront of all this crap that led to the likes of, you know, Apu from The Simpsons being retired, or, oh my god, it's my favorite show. Oh, Dr. Hibbert, there we go. No, him getting a new voice actor because it's just, oh my god, all that shit is so stupid. It's like, they're yellow people, for Christ's sakes. We don't have an all-Asian cast. The trend of bowing to activism over creative integrity seems to align with Marvel's recent history, focusing on social messaging rather than crafting compelling stories. Yup, and it's funny. It's like, yeah, your most successful franchise, right? Or, I'm sorry, your most successful show, at least when it comes to audiences, X-Men 97, you ended up turfing. your gay black showrunner who was probably a diversity hire to begin with, but he actually ended up doing a good job. So you guys ended up looking, very funny in the aftermath of that, and ended up having to leak some behind the scenes scuttle in order to make yourselves look a little bit better on that one. But in an attempt to pander, you ended up causing more controversy than eyeballs actually on the show itself, because people have heard that X-Men 97 is good, it's just nobody's watched it. But that'll also be the fate of the X-Men if it ever does come out, because bro, it's so weird, right? Because I've been talking about this a lot, because this is something that we're going to be looking forward to in 2025. It's going to be very transformative, okay? Things this year that are coming out are going to look awfully antiquated because the societal taste has finally come to the forefront, and people are tired of the crap. Like, it's always been bad, it's always been cringe to have all of this forced garbage in the name of fringe ideologues getting and forcing their way into places. And now we're slowly turning the other cheek. There are things that are dying, especially in the gaming industry, where you've got studios and developers just closing down at a moment's notice because they put out slop produced by a bunch of ideologically driven developers. But Hollywood, they can eventually change. There's still a lot of slop in the pipe from a bunch of these other studios, but the stuff moving forward, the stuff getting announced, especially in gaming, well, that stuff looks good. Maybe they're just hiding all of the politics that are perpetuating this collapse that is on the horizon. It's very possible, but at least they know what the people want. If they actually give them what they want, they end up supporting it. Take a look at some of the biggest hits from last year. Even as bad as the film was, Deadpool and Wolverine wasn't overtly in your face about pushing politics. The script was still ass, and the way that it disrespected its characters and legacy characters is something that, upon further inspection, people actually look back and go, geez, that Logan payoff really was wasted, huh? Or the way that they did Johnny Blaze dirty is exactly the same way that they did Reed Richards dirty in Doctor Strange Mom. Very strange how we didn't point that out to begin with, because it was all just fun. I could turn off my brain and clap at the pretty pictures on the screen. But Black Myth Wukong, over 2 million concurrent players on Steam, because it was just a fun game. It was a Souls-like game that has its audience for sure, but it at least catered to those people, and they responded to it in kind. But just think about it, right? Because there's, other than a post-credit scene in the Marvels, we don't really know when the X-Men are showing up in the MCU, if they're even going to be around before or after Secret Wars, if they're going to be closing that up or kicking it off afterwards. Like, what ultimately is the plan moving forward? How are they going to bring in, and how are they going to cement mutants? Because that's what Marvel's next step is obviously going to be. But if you do the exact same stuff that you did that led you to this pathetic spot where you're just dragging back different key jangles in order to get you to the next spot, I don't know if you're going to have an opportunity 5, 10, 15 years down the line. At this point in time, yeah, I guess 10, 15 years down the line, to drag back Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom and Iron Man, or Chris Evans' Hydra Cap. I don't think you're going to get that opportunity again. You better nail it, and picking things like this to be Storm, that's a bullshit Storm. Right now, it's just all rumors, and until we hear more, all we can do is speculate and hope for the best, but brace for the worst. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.